Jag har äran att introducera Danne Nätterdal och David Olsson med mig här. Robin Lindblad som vanligt. Hur är läget?
Det är bra tycker jag.
Ja, samma här. Kul att få med.
Ja, eller hur? I dagens matiga avsnitt där vi ska snacka om First Blood. Vi har en intervju med sångaren och frontmannen Carl Spors lite senare. Men också gå igenom en del som har hänt här sen vi hördes sist. Har du något du vill börja med på feedbackfronten, Dan, eller?
Ja, absolut. Det är ju lite gammal feedback som jag hörde från två olika källor rörande samma. Och det är ju den här AFI-videon vi snackar om. Där det var folk som morsade brutalt i någon sorts teaterlokal. Det var ju då folk influgna från Philadelphia som utgjorde den här publiken. Philadelphia hade ju på den tiden rykte om så har de bästa morsarna.
Ett bokstavligt morskål med andra ord.
Ja, precis.
Men vadå, från Philadelphia till LA?
Ja, precis.
Det är långt.
Ja, det är
för lite mors.
Kust till kust. Och då hade de plockat upp publiken från en American Nightmare-spelning. Och American Nightmare var väl det mest hypade hardcore-bandet i branschen på den tiden. På den här videoinspelningen då, så hade publiken fått morsat till en American Nightmare-låt medan AFI stod på scen och mimade till sin egen låt.
Vad fan. Ja.
Men det blev ju ett bra resultat i alla fall.
Intressant. Vidare så fick jag lite feedback på mejlen här från Skogis angående 10 Ton Hammer som vi snackade om. Han skriver att det är ett lokalband från Lansdale med bland annat medlemmar från Rock Bottom som också är ett lokalt hardcoreband där.
Ett bra sådant också.
Ja, för fan. Han tipsar mig också om någonting som är det jag har lyssnat på mest här senaste veckan, nämligen Jesus Peace. De släppte en EP här i slutet av 2015 tror jag. Och har en jävligt tung hardcore minst sagt. Ni fick höra lite här innan vi gick in i studion. Men...
Ja, tungt var det ord.
Ja, jävligt coolt i alla fall.
Ja, det var som ett skitigare Harm's Way.
Ja, men
typ.
Precis.
Med mycket döds.
Låter inte Nails typ sådär?
Nails har ju så mycket mangliga partier.
Man har fått för sig att Nails låter så i alla fall. Det är ju intressant. Men...
Ja, exakt. Det är förbjudet att lyssna på Nails.
Jag menar det. Det kommer ju så mycket med att man lyssnar på Nails. Så.
De skulle spela i Sverige så.
Asså?
Typ i sommar.
Ja.
Okej. Okay.
De kommer ju även med en ny platta, såg jag. Pre-order uppe. Och släpps någon gång i juni.
Det var nog där någonstans de spelade också tror jag.
Okej.
Och så att de hade signat till Nuclear Blast. De släppte väl på, var det inte Closed Casket sist kanske?
Okej.
Så det känns väl
som...
som...
Det är inte på Death Wish.
Ja, det kanske var. Ja, vad fan.
Det spelar ingen roll.
Det känns ju som att Nuclear Blast har skrivit på något så här familjekontrakt när de är, eftersom Twitching Tongues också ligger där.
Ja, just
så
det.
de har fått liksom alla brödernas band. Nej, vad fan, nej. Fuck it. Twitching Tongues är på Metal Blade.
Ja, just det.
Stryker den kommentaren.
Ja, vidare då. Vi fick en kommentar, eller en rättelse snarare, om Bane. De hade visst spelat i Sverige på sin sista turné. De körde ju både Stockholm och Umeå och kanske även Göteborg, skriver Per Eklund från Medea här. Men han säger dock att det var nog det sämsta han har sett på sitt liv, så det var helt okej att missa. Banes sista spelning som faktiskt var igår tror jag. I deras i Worcester eller vart fan det nu var, någonstans i USA. Sen så en helt fantastisk bild på dig, Danne, och Tommy Rat och Rejuvenate.
Ja, det är ju det stoltaste ögonblick i mitt liv.
Ligger i kommentarsfältet på vår Facebook-sida. När var det härifrån?
Ja, med tanke på hur jag såg ut så måste det vara rätt så länge sedan. Jag antar att det var tidigt 2000-tal, eller mitten.
Okej.
Och det var ju också hela publiken samlad på en bild. Så hela bandet och hela publiken.
Nice.
Även en kul kommentar också som jag hade glömt bort, att min kompis Adam hade ju en så här affisch på sin dörr, du vet, som man brukar ha om man har hund, så här vaktar jag.
Ja, just det.
En sån hade han en screenshot från New Carco-dokumentären på Tommy Rat.
Ja, nice. Vi höll på att halka in lite osökt på Hänt i veckan här. Vi kan väl fortsätta på det här spåret då. Jailbreak Fest annonserat den 2 juli på Gula Villan.
Biljetter köpta?
Ja, för fan.
Tur att man var snabb där, för det är ju sjukt litet ställe och det känns som att peppen är rätt så hög.
Verkligen.
Står det inte något om slutsålt?
Nej, det tror jag inte. I och med att jag
kanske stod att det höll på att sälja slut.
Det lär sälja slut. Jag vet inte hur många platser de har, men biljetterna kostar ju bara en hunka. Så det är bara att mejla jailbreakfest@gmail.com så får ni alla uppgifter ni behöver. Men vi kan i alla fall droppa vilka band det är. Det är ju då alltså Blind Authority, Iceberg, Lowest Creature, The Hammer, Waste, Time to Heal, District Conflict och såklart Neighborhood. Så det är ju en hel snyting. Bra öppning på semestern för undertecknad också.
Ja.
Iceberg är de som var från typ Belgien eller någonting.
Ja, någonstans där.
Som spelar där vi sitter nu en gång.
Ja, precis. Det är han puckelryggiga gossen som sjunger. Jag kommer ihåg. Ja, men de är väl någonstans där udda land. Typ Irland eller Luxemburg eller...
Ja, någonstans.
Ganska bra faktiskt.
Ja.
Blind Authority är väl det som är själva godbiten i kakan. Eftersom man är så här ett jävla as som bara är intresserad när det är utländska band som man inte kan se så ofta. Men det är fett som fan. Det är ju fan manglig, old school.
Ja.
Och det är också i den här old school-genren där introt alltid är den bästa låten. Borde fan klippa in en liten snutt från introt på skivan. Det är jävligt bra.
Ja, men det gör vi. Helt klart. Koppa ticket. Och en annan grej som blir jävligt fet som de har annonserat line-upen till, det är ju Black Christmas Festival i Norrköping. Jag är så jävla nöjd för äntligen kommer det norska bandet Take till Sverige.
Ja, det är han med penis ur gylf.
Exakt, den klassiska
penis ur gylf-bandet.
Rock out with your cock out-bilden.
Har du varit på det där någon gång?
Nej, det har jag faktiskt inte. Har du något lätt som du ville?
Nej, jag vill bara vara nyfiken.
Det lät som en kommentar med oerhört mycket värdering.
Ja, det är så jävla pajigt namn.
Ja.
Jag trodde såna här ritualmördande satansdyrkare inte... Jag tror de hade
humor.
lite mindre självdistans än att gå på Black Christmas.
Jag menar det. Men...
Vad var det mer då?
Jo, utöver Take så är det Unleashed.
Gamla Stockholmsdödsarna, va?
Precis. Rotting Christ från Grekland tror jag de är. Eller är de italienare? Skitsamma. Necrophagia som väl är någon teknisk jävla dyngmangel från USA. Och Altair som är Stockholmsband.
Är inte det huvudpersonen i det där spelet när man hoppar på ett hustak? Typ?
Assassin's Creed, ja. Jo. Sant! Ska man ställa dem till svars för det här kanske?
Ska också skapligt ohårt.
Få en 3-udd genom hjärtat då kanske.
Bockhuvud
i brevlådan.
Ja, vi ändå...
Nu är vi ju oerhört fördomsfulla.
Vi har ju pratat om att göra ett black metal-avsnitt. Kanske borde åka på det där och göra det.
Ja, det vore fan något. Smart. Ja, nej men... och sen så hörde jag också att Descendants har annonserat en ny platta. De signade till Epitaph. Eller var det Epitaph? Det var något. Jo, men jag tror det var Epitaph.
Säg Epitaph så har du helgarderat.
Ja. För ett nytt skivsläpp i sommar i alla fall. Jag vet inte hur intresserad man är, men...
Jag tyckte ändå den senaste Descendants-skivan är rätt bra.
Fan, jag
så den är inte ny heller.
typ inte lyssna på dem, varken nytt eller gammalt.
Cool to be you, tror jag inte.
Jag har aldrig fattat grejen.
Nej, det var bara något jag såg. Är någon som har något mer?
Ja, för fan. Det var en gedigen vecka i punkbranschen.
Ja.
Kan i och för sig varit för att man har legat hemma med brutet ben och haft mycket fritid och kolla upp saker. Ja, det var ju Record Store Day förra lördagen.
Köpte den något eller?
Nej. Fan, det är ju en ganska rutten tillställning egentligen, eftersom det bara är en massa nyproducerade skitgrejer som kommer ut.
Har det inte Integrity släppt någonting?
Ja, det är ju det. Det är det enda bandet som har reissue-licens hemma hos mig. De släppte ju mästerverket Humanity's the Devil på 12-tummare.
Okej.
Finns även att köpa från Organized Crime Records nu. Varianter som inte är speciellt för Records Store Day. Om man nu behöver ha den på 12 tum istället för 10 som det var på originalet. Och det är klart man gör. Ja, inte fan. Sen har det ju nästa New Hardcore Box som är annonserad. Jävligt udda innehåll. Det är Reagan Youth som släpper en 2 7-tummare och 2 CD-skivor i en box.
Och jävlar.
Är det inte samma låtar på skivorna, CD-skivorna som på 7:orna här?
Ja, de har ju inte så jävla mycket låtar att ta av, så det antar jag. Men jag antar att de har 7:orna för att folk överhuvudtaget ska köpa boxen och CD-skivorna för att de ska kunna dra upp priset. Vi får se. Det beror på vad det är för artwork på det här. Kan vara värt, kan vara ovärt. Så stötte jag på ett nytt band som har hållit på att ta, som jag inte har kollat upp, men som är ute med något nytt. Och det är Bricktop från Tuscany, Arizona.
Okej.
Ja, det är väl i den här genren som brukar kallas för full tjockis hardcore.
Men vad fan, vad trevligt.
Ja, jag är lite skeptisk. Alltså, det är få band som kommer undan med den grejen. Men ett av de banden som gör det är Shit Out of Luck. Och Blood for Blood är väl någon typ av pionjärer i genren kanske.
Såklart.
Men det är lite så här.
Men det är mer punk än vad det är hardcore.
Ja, men det är lite lite rock.
Precis. Svängigt liksom.
Ja.
Partymusik.
Ja,
fast om man vill
precis.
hålla det till hardcore liksom.
Ja, men precis. Fan, jag tror det kan bli fett. Skivan heter Thug Rock.
Vet du att de är tjocka eller antar du bara att de är tjocka?
Det hör man ju fan direkt. Tyvärr såg jag att en snobb i bandet hade fulla armarna med Flames-tatueringar. Jag vet inte fan om jag vågar rekommendera det här. Men man får kolla bilda sin egen uppfattning.
Du har lyssnat eller?
Ja, för fan.
Jag har gjort det.
Det är schysst alltså. De har feature från Lars Fredriksen. Och även gör de en låt med Fatskin som är bra.
Okej.
Ja, för fan. Man får kolla upp själv. Sen har ju Bostons Firewalker gått nu då på rekordtid från demo till liveinspelning. Jag menar, liveplattan brukar komma som 5:e släpp för ett metalband typ. Men nu har Firewalker släppt en live-tape på Mosher's Delight. Som kan vara värt att kolla in.
Live-tape alltså?
Ja, Mosher's Delight kör ju. De har ju en serie med live-tapes med typ de nya hypade old school-banden.
Okej.
Så. Ja, fan, det är ju värt. Kostar $5. Schysst. Sen är franska fronten. Nytt band med medlemmar från Lions Law. Bromure.
Är du säker på att det är det korrekta uttalet?
Nej, väldigt osäker. Vi kunde inte ens googla upp det. Men det är i alla fall... det är franskt. Det är kort frisyr. Tror det kan bli bra.
Det är på tapet, eller man har det på hjärnhinnan nu eftersom man har lyssnat på så mycket snabb musik på senaste tiden. Så
speciellt franskt.
det är lika bra att konsumera så mycket man kan nu när man är inne i modet.
Har ni lyssnat med på West Side Boys då?
Tyvärr inte.
Jävligt bra faktiskt.
Ja.
Tackar Emily för rekommendationen. Mer fransk oj. Nya Riks 7 finns att beställa.
Right.
Du hade väl beställt den?
Den är beställd. Väntar ideligen. Så jag såg att Crown of Thorns har gjort reissue på mästerverket Train Yard Blues. Som kommer med läderomslag.
Var det verkligen
Jag tror det. Alternativt fake läder.
Jag tycker annars att originalomslaget är fan jävla snyggt. Det är ändå ett av mina favoritomslag.
Ja.
Det får man ju fan lite roligt initiativ också om det nu är en läderficka till den liksom.
Ja, jag tror det kan vara galon eller viskos eller någonting. Såg ut som läder i alla fall.
Var det inte helt likt en Black Sabbath-skiva eller? Att det var skrivit med lila typ.
Ja, eller en Venom-platta kanske.
Möjligt.
Skitsamma. Ja, fan har vi mer?
Ja, jag har några grejer. Tyvärr så kommer de tråkiga nyheterna då. Atlas Losing Grip lägger ner. Jag tror de hade till och med en turné planerad som de valde att inte genomföra. Jag vet att de skulle iväg till England och köra, men de har valt att lägga ner av oklar anledning. De la ut en video på deras Facebook bara. Så att it's over.
Kändes det som att det där bandet redan hade typ semi-dött när
Rodrigo, ja för fan.
Men det är ju jävla segt när folk gör, eller band gör det skitbra skiva och sen lägger ner direkt.
Så är det.
Det händer alldeles för ofta.
Verkligen. Sen så såg jag att, och det här var ju fan, det var ju som ett heldagars event med tanke på hur mycket band som spelar på den här festivalen. Men Fluffest tog en hel jävla dag till och var 3-4 minut posta statusuppdateringar om sin lineup. Så ett band i taget. Och de började väl på förmiddagen och de var inte klara när jag stämplade ut liksom. Så att,
är det något man har hört talas om eller?
Det är en del...
Är det något man vill se?
Mycket tjeckisk anarkakrust.
Ja, det är många såna här typ bandnamn som man aldrig har hört talas om. Men några större grejer, typ Blacklisted, Appraise som har varit här och spelat, Such Gold, diverse konstiga och mindre konstiga band. Lite svensk representation med Totem Skin, No Omega. Ja, lite sånt.
All right. Såg även att 090 Hardcore Fest har annonserat första släppen med band.
Okej.
Tyvärr var det alldeles för ointressant att jag skulle lägga det på märken, men vi kan väl kanske uppmärksamma det när det har kommit ut lite fler band.
Det tycker jag.
Punkfesten i Umeå hade ju också... Eller har det varit?
Ja, jag vet inte. Skitsamma, vi klipper bort det.
Ja, vad fan. Är man intresserad och har vägarna förbi Umeå så kan man ju kolla upp det. Sen en annan festival som jag aldrig talas om. Holländska Roadburnfest. Roadburner. Det är alltså den ultimata tänk jeansväst och långt hår-festivalen. Med så här punkiga dödsband och bara skitiga hardcoreband.
Okej.
Och det var ju 4 dagars och sinnessjukt matig lineup.
Det är mycket band eller?
Ja. Vet fan, man har inte så superbra koll på just den genren, men headlines var väl Gizm som gör sin första spelning utanför Japan. Och de har inte giggat sen var 20 år typ.
Fan.
Tidigare skulle det ha varit ett jävligt bra gig. Jag såg liveklippet och såg sjukt trött ut, men fan, Sakevi är ju plus 50 så man kan fatta att han inte orkar köra med eldkastaren jämt kanske.
Jag hoppas jag är inne på rätt sida och kollar, men jag ser att det är ett band som spelar på den här festivalen som heter Dol. Det känner vi igen. Nej.
Dol? Just ja, fan. Beckna dol. Det är
Ja.
satan.
Precis.
Vi måste ju få reda på vad det är.
Ja, har vi gått ut och sagt något om det här i podden?
Nej.
Om att vi undrar vad fan det betyder. Beckna dol och dyrka satan. Var det Luke som sa i någon intervju?
Ja, det är lilla syster Sticker.
Ja, just det. Så var det. Ja.
Från muggen på Bröd Olsson.
Sjukt smalt. Men om ni vet vad beckna dol betyder, sänd iväg ett meddelande till oss. Ja, det är spännande med festival i Holland om inte annat. Det är ganska nära. Så det...
Ja, ett band som jag tror skulle vilja spela på Roadburner är ju Stockholmsbandet Switchblade. Som jag inte har hört ett ljud från sedan tidigt 2000-tal. Men de verkar ha varit aktiva hela tiden. Släpper en 4-låtars 12 kanske.
Okej.
Och det bästa med Switchblade är ju att alla deras släpp heter just Switchblade. Så de har typ 6 förlängdare som heter likadant. De verkar ha dragit ner rejält på tempot och enligt deras Facebook så är det nu Doom Avantgarde experimentell.
Jävlar i helvete.
Jag har för mig att det var ett Power of Violence band, men de kanske lägger om stilen efter de rådande trenderna.
Just det.
Sen är det något som inte lägger om stilen så mycket i No Saving Grace. Utom 2 nya låtar.
En jävla banger till platta där måste jag säga som låg på Spotify.
Ja.
Men var det bara 2 nya låtar? Var det inte 4?
Jag fick för mig att det var en hel
Ja, för fan.
EP liksom.
Jag fattade bara som att det var 2. Men det här har ju själv promotats sönder. Jag tycker jag sett det. Så fort man öppnar ögonen så är det någon typ av No Saving Grace reklam i flödet. Men var sjukt stabilt. Låter som vanligt fast fan bättre produktion. Bra låtar. Allt.
Ja, och en intervju på Idiotech också tror jag som
ja, vad fan, det är nog polskt webbsida.
Ja, exakt. Men det som finns på Spotify är ju den här Hell to Pay grejen.
Och det är nya, va?
Ja, och det är ju bara 2 låtar på den. Men jag fick för mig att det var mer. Men det kanske bara för att man har en playlist med allt det där och det går ihop på något
Ja, de har väl gammalt material där också.
Ja.
Sen nytt annonserat gig på Cyklopen 8 maj. Ajax, som vi nämnde i förra avsnittet.
Just det.
New York stök hardcore. Spelar med tillsammans med Powerface och Halshugg.
Jävlar.
Jag var tvungen att läsa det här bandnamnet typ 3-4 gånger innan jag fattade vad det stod. Jag tyckte det stod Hail Slug. Vilket hade varit coolare.
Ja, verkligen.
Cyklopen, coolt ställe, coola band.
Verkligen. Det får vi...
När var det här, sa du?
8 maj, så det är väl snart.
Sweet.
Annat bra band, Stilett. Spelar in efter mycket om och men.
Okej.
Och det är man ju taggad som fan på att det ska komma ut.
Fan, det har varit mycket bra gig. Jag vet, Rövsvett spelar ju på 44 här i helgen tror jag.
Fan vad episkt.
Och sen så var ju Refused här i stan också. Men jag vet inte, det var ingen som vi kände som var där och kunde ge lite.
Jag tror säkert att några var där och jobbar, men
Ja.
vi får väl fråga ut folket.
Yes.
Ja, det var ju också lite feedback från gammalt att Integrity hade spelats på P3.
Ja, just det.
Alltså.
Och även nya svenska bandet Lawgiver.
Ja, just det. Vi blastade ju lite Lawgiver här innan. Och...
Ja, för jag sa ju förra gången jag snackade om att det här låter som någonting, men jag vet inte vad.
Nu har du kommit på det.
Nu vet jag det. Megadeth.
Det hade du fan rätt i. Vi gjorde en liten snabb audio-jämförelse här innan. Men vi kan ju slänga in den här nu. Vi kör en Lawgiver-låt och följer upp med Megadeth.
him in control. Watch him become a god. Watch people's heads roll.
Sen hade Low Creature någonting nytt på den också, va?
En ny 7.
Ja, precis. Det kom upp en ny låt därifrån idag.
Jag tror hela 7 var uppe.
Jaså?
För streaming.
Från Powertrip Records, va?
Yep.
Det finns på Bandcamp. Om man kollar på Powertrip Records Bandcamp så finns alla deras prylar. Även låtarna från gamla serien finns på stream där. Gamla serien, gamla 7:an.
All right.
Sen snackade vi en gång om att Holly Flanagan, ex-Chromags, hade gjort en bok. Kommer du ihåg det? Han gjorde en diktsamling som 12-åring. Eller kanske ännu yngre. Med Allen Ginsberg som förordsskrivare. Som har fått någon typ av hype i svårare kulturkretsar. Jag hittade den här på en så här, auktionssajt typ för böcker. Typ böckernas svar på Discogs. Så om någon ligger inne på $950 så kan man få läsa boken The Shopkeeper and His Donkey. Stories and Illustrations by Harley.
Varför är den så pass dyr? För att den aldrig är utgiven. Det är ett ex bara. Eller?
Nej, den är utgiven men den är väl...
Super rare.
Ja, och sen Ginsberg-grejen.
Ja, visst.
Vad sa det? $900?
$950.
Han lär ju köpa den ändå.
Charlatan Press 1976.
Fy fan. Ja.
Sen lite tråkiga nyheter från igår. Big Frank från Care Nation och Nemesis Records, grundaren, ligger i koma efter en hjärtattack.
Oh fan.
Ännu en Orange County-legend som
Spela på sista ackordet.
Ja. Kanske repar sig.
Ja.
Fan, vad mer?
Ja, jag gillar ju att slänga in lite black metal-nyheter då och då. Så jag får väl säga att på avdelningen med rubriken Butterix så har vi en ny video från Abbat. Ja, exakt. Har jag berättat? Jag har berättat om min polare som repar ihop med Mortis.
Nej.
Va?
Jo.
Repar Mortis?
Nej, men så här var det att jag hade en gammal klasskompis på universitetet. Han var 10 år äldre än mig, så han spelade mycket trummor i Linköping 2000-2002 och så där. Och då bodde ju Mortis i Linköping.
What?
Ja. Och
det är säkert bara att det inte bara var någon annan kort kille som ser ut som ett troll.
Det här var ju, kanske var ännu tidigare, slutet av 90-talet. Hur som, han var där i alla fall och de repa. Det kan ha varit att de repa inför en turné och han var studiomusiker, men att de körde där då. Och då brukar de mobba honom, för han hade ju alltid på sig de här 11 öronen, vet du, när han gick ut på stan. Och en gång kom han till repet och då hade ena biten av hans näsa ramlat av. Så då mobbade de skiten ur honom, sa han. Ja, då.
Jag får att jag läste en rolig historia om han skulle försöka hitta en taxi i New York fullt trollklädd typ.
Jo, men han var ju diehard med det där.
Jo, men typ taxibilarna vägrade stanna.
Det känns som att det finns väldigt freaks i New York nu.
Hur som, Abbat har släppt den första musikvideon till sin kommande platta. Och låten heter Winter's Bane. Inte helt oväntat, går på samma linje som Immortal tidigare. Men ja, det är svänger fan. Jag gillar ju Abbats stuk. Så att...
Ja, jag har hört mycket bra om den solo-grejen.
Var videon lite pajig eller?
Ja, alltså det är ju vad det är. Det känns som att de försöker... Titta inte på videon, stäng ner webbläsarfönstret liksom, lyssna på låten istället. Men det som är coolt är ju att senast Abbat gjorde någonting solo. Det var ju med sitt parallella band till Immortal som heter I, som släppte bara en enda fullängdare. Men de har börjat spela låtar från I nu när de kör live med med Abbott. Som bandet heter. Och den skivan kan jag verkligen rekommendera. Den är från 2006 till 2007. Men det är lite så här black and roll. Alltså riktigt så här.
Ja, jag kommer ihåg när den kom.
Ja, den var svinbra. Ja, så det var väl det.
Ja. Liten bara om Turning Point som vi nämnde förra avsnittet, som är aktuella till förmodligen kommer headlina This is Hardcore, att Beastie Boys har gjort en t-shirt med Turning Point rip-off.
Åh jävlar.
Så det känns som att det borde vara lite tvärtom.
Ja, minst sagt.
Real recognizes real. Ja, vad fan ska vi börja dra oss vidare mot intervjudelen?
Ja, det kan vi göra. Och nu var det faktiskt så härligt för oss att vi fick besök här tidigare i veckan av våran
återkommande gäst och wingman.
Och fixare tänkte jag säga. Vinny från Stockholm. Han tog med sig Carl och sin son i bilen och brände ner till Örebro. Carl då från First Blood. Och vi fick möjlighet att snacka både om bandet och om hur det var att växa upp i USA och hur scenen såg ut och sådär. Vad kan man säga om First Blood då till att börja med?
Ja, det är ju ett av de största hårda hardcore-banden, inget snack om det.
Ja, verkligen.
Slog ju igenom alltså nästan direkt på demon som kom tidigt 2000-talet, samtidigt som Terror.
Ja, jag vet. Själv fick jag nog inte upp ögonen för dem, eller öronen för dem snarare, förrän de släppte California 2006. Men de har ju spelat jäkligt mycket i Sverige. Boris har ju pimpat upp dem på Deadfest och så vidare.
Ja, de har spelat i Örebro ett par gånger också. Det är ju ett band som turnerar jävligt flitigt. Och alltså, jag tycker att det är ganska smakfullt att de har släppt så pass lite grejer. Om man till exempel jämför med Terror som har funnits lika länge. Som har gjort för mycket plattor. First Blood är nu aktuella och kommer släppa sin tredje platta. På 10 år plus.
Precis.
Då hinner man fortfarande hålla sig ajour med vilka låtar det är som gäller. Men man kan ju tryggt säga att First Blood är ett band som inte har gjort en enda dålig låt.
Nej, och inte ett enda par skosnören heller.
Men de har dock gjort
mycket
jävligt mycket mörk.
Ja, det har de. Men vi kommer gå igenom uppkomsten till alla de här plattorna, eller alla de här 3 plattorna ska vi säga. Tanken bakom First Blood har ju varit väldigt politiska och nästan lite konspirationsteoretiska till och från. Så att det blir mycket snack om det. Så jag tycker vi bara hoppar rakt in i intervjun här med första frågan som vi ställde, som var hur Carl kom in på hardcore.
I guess I got in through, some people get through punk rock, or maybe that sketchy cousin of theirs who has, like a weird record collection. But I think most of my friends listen to like just metal, like thrash. This was like before like new metal and all that stuff. So like a lot of kids get into hardcore from new metal nowadays, I guess. I don't know, but I was way into like Sepultura and Slayer, Metallica. Like before that, like Def Leppard and like just hard. I mean, that's like my cousin. Could be a bunch of hard rock tapes and stuff like that. I learned how to play guitar to like Guns N' Roses in like my bedroom, and then we were just listening to heavier shit, like just friends of mine from high school. And it's always this one guy's like, "Hey man, we were talking about some death metal band, and he'd be like, "Yo, you ever listen to Madball?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "Oh, that's hardcore." I'm like, all right. And I listened to that. I was like, it just sounded like all the heavy good shit without like the solos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is cool. I couldn't say I was a hardcore kid then. I was just listening to everything. And then I guess I was like, it was like a summertime. I remember I was walking. I was out with my friend's family. They went to some place in the summertime to like go to the beach or something. We were walking around the town, and some dude just comes up, "Yo, man, you like hardcore?" And I'm like, just some dummy who just listened to everything. I'm like, yeah, man. So he has me some tape, it's like some band from Long Island. I think it was like Sub Decay or something like that,
yeah.
Some band that, I think they were some part of Long Island. They were from Mastic or something like that, I don't know. So from that point on, we started like just, it's like, all right, we started listening to all the Madball and Sick of It All, just because like, those were like the New York bands like around us,
Yeah.
I'm like, how old were you? I was probably like 16, 17, Like,
And what year was that?
93 or something, 94, maybe 93 or something. I don't know. It was like mid 90s when I was like really kind of like into my super death metal, thrash metal phase, like playing my electric bass in my bedroom by myself, like every day after school, and then like having kids like saying, "Oh no, man, you gotta check out hardcore," So I was like, all right. It was like all the New York bands, and like when I went away to school the first year, it's like my first roommate, I guess his cousin was the drummer in Earth Crisis or something. No, the drummer in Snapcase or something. Like it was like related somehow, but not by blood. It was like a weird thing. I'm like, all right, I guess he's your cousin or whatever. So that's when he was getting me on like Snapcase and Earth Crisis and a lot of like the upstate like hardcore bands from like New York. And I was like, I guess from there, that's when I just started really going to shows, and then I guess that's when I could say like, yeah, I'm into hardcore, like going out to shows and meeting people and like seeing what like the scene's about. Before that, I was just like some dude in my bedroom, like just taking in anything.
But so you weren't making music before you got into the hardcore scene, or did you have a band before that, or just playing on your own?
I mean, I played violin.
Oh, right.
I was like, my dad was like way into classical, and I started early, and my dad always put me in these like kind of like orchestra. We would do these competitions like every year or something like that. My dad was always yelling at me to practice your violin, and then as soon as he saw that I discovered like a guitar, an electric bass, it was fucking done. Like my dad hated it.
He didn't consider it a real instrument, or
no, he hated it. He fucking hated it. He never. I think he never gave into it. He never accepted the fact like, all right, he's not going to want to practice violin and maybe get a music scholarship or something. Some like real music thing. But I had some friends. My best friend at the time played drums, and I knew another guy who played guitar. And we would like mess around with a whole bunch of different songs, like all over the place, like stupid, like Metallica and Pantera and like Pearl Jam or something. Just like whatever the dude was in it. The guitar player was way into like Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and the drummer was way into Metallica and Pantera. So it's like we just did whatever the dudes knew, But like when I went away to school, it's like I didn't need anyone like who played hardcore music right away, at least, So I was just going to shows and listening to stuff,
Yeah.
Wasn't until like maybe like my second or third year of like college, like university, like I met some dudes, and we had a hardcore band, like kind of like a youth crew band called like Fist of Fury. It was like those dudes are you had Bruce Lee on the cover or like all that stuff. Like I was like some dudes from upstate, and that was like right before I moved away from New York to California. But that's like, not to jump too far ahead. It's like, I didn't play much music with friends at the time. I'd be playing my guitar or my bass in my room by myself, listening to like all these tapes. It was all tapes because like I didn't get into CDs, man. I couldn't do it.
All right.
I was the only dude who had cassette. I would listen to the whole fucking tape from beginning to end. There's no skipping to the next thing on your iPhone or like the skip on your CD.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a CD player. I think in my house I had like 2 double tape decks. Like ones you could double, double tapes. But I just listened and I would try to figure out how to play like every song I heard. Like I would play with my bass and stuff like that. I just didn't know a lot of guys to play in bands, you know.
Where did you live at this point?
That was like, I grew up in Long Island, like in New York, like just maybe like an hour outside the city. Like I never really went into the city that much when I was a kid, you know. I never saw Madball in the city. I wouldn't. Hey, I'm going down to see GBC. Sleep at all. Like no, I wasn't. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. You know, I was like trapped in a fucking suburb. Like I just had my bedroom and my tape deck and like a, you know, some kind of instrument I was trying to learn. You know, acoustic guitar that I would like smash on the ground if I got mad at something. The first electric bass was like a piece of crap. You know, I would just play it all night. You know, until my dad got home from work or something like that. You know,
all right.
Just try to learn it and play it, and it was. I mean, that was me learning metal stuff, you know? Just listening to the music. I just want to learn it. It was just so much fun to play this music. Maybe because I was so repressed, like playing other kinds of music. You know, like you play an instrument in school. They give you a piece of paper with notes on it, and they tell you, hey, play this.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't think about what you want to do. Just do what the paper says.
Yeah.
You can just mess around and play, like, rock music or whatever, metal or punk rock, something, you know, some riff, you know, and just do whatever. And it felt good. You know, and then later on when you start understanding, like, man, these guys are screaming something, and it's like they're talking about something serious. Like, oh shit, you know, it's not like you listen to like some metal songs, the lyrics just don't. They're singing about nothing.
Yeah,
they're just like, you know, because you need to have a singer singing about something. That it's just words, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you like experience the Long Island hardcore scene of the 90s, like the Neglects and the Circus and Tripface and all those?
Not until like. I guess when I had gone away to school, I came back like the next summer, and my friend had gotten in with some guys, and he played drums in this band called Tension with like a star, you know, because there was I guess another band from Florida or whatever, you know. And at that point, what was that label with was that Wreckage or Exit or something like that? With Trip Phase and Indecision.
That's Exit.
Exit, alright. That's because, like, after that, when I got home, he's like, yeah, we were playing all these bands, and I was getting way into Trip Phase and stuff, but, like, I only went to, like, a couple shows to see him play. So, like, you know, being trapped in my house and not knowing anyone to take me around. I didn't have a car, you know. So, like, I'd be the dude at home, like, looking at, reading all the insides of, like, you know. I guess that's when I started getting the CDs, you know. After that point, I was ordering everything from, like, Victory every week and whatever, like, hey, check out Decision, check out Trip Face. Like, man, this band's hard, you know?
Yeah, but that's like living pre-internet. Because you can be, like, I don't know how big Long Island is, but you can actually live there and not knowing there is, like, pretty massive hardcore scene going on. You're not part of it because you don't know.
You're just trapped in your own neighborhood, you know?
Sure.
Like, I just didn't have a lot of friends, you know? I just wasn't, like, a popular dude, you know, so I didn't have friends like, hey, let's go out to a show, you know. Maybe like every now and then, like I find a way to get out. Like I went to the city. Like my first like real big concert was like a Pantera concert, you know, like in like the Roseland or some big. And it was like fucking 1 million people there, you know. But then later on, my friend would say, hey, I go out to a few shows on the island. I remember the first time I saw 25 to Life, and, like Crown of Thorns, and Biohazard. I saw them at like a small, kind of like smaller club, you know, like nothing like when they got to their heyday, you know, like some big ass like arena kind of looking thing, but like, but still, it was only like a handful of shows. Like most of the shows I went to was like when I left Long Island. That's when I started going to shows like mostly around like Syracuse and Buffalo, New York.
Right.
But it's like then again, I would go to shows by myself. You know, I wouldn't know anybody. I'd just go by myself, and I dated a girl near Syracuse for a while, so I guess that's like she would like drive me out to some shows there too. Sometimes she would just drop me off, you know. But Long Island was like a weird thing for me. I was like, growing up in Long Island is the kind of place where you either like you grow up there and you stay there your whole life, or as soon as you're old enough to like leave, you leave and you never come back. And that's pretty much like where I fell in. Like I left when I was 17, and like, I never lived there again. You know.
How far away is Long Island from Staten Island?
I don't know.
It was funny because immediately when you said that your first band had that Shaolin theme, I was thinking about the Wu-Tang Clan. Maybe you were inspired, but
no, I wasn't even like way into rap at all at that point. It was just one of those things like strictly like heavy metal.
Yeah, all right.
But I mean, you're so close to so much stuff, you know. If I ever did go into the city, like kind of rarely, it would just be to see like my aunt or my grandma or something like that, you know. Just walk around the city, get food in Chinatown or something like that. But I wouldn't really go in there for like music a lot when I was a kid, you know. It was just like to see, like, 'cause my dad's from the Bronx, you know. But I guess I found out later on, wait until like after my aunt died, like they moved out of the city, out of the Bronx, because I guess someone beat the shit out of my aunt, like.
Oh.
Like, she was just walking home, and they just beat her up because they thought she was someone else or something like that. A bunch of kids beat her up. So that's why I grew up out on Long Island. It's like you're an hour away from the city, and you're just, like, in suburbia. There's, like, nothing.
All right.
You know, it's not like you can walk down the street and go down to, like, you know, Tumba Centrum or something like that. You know, it wasn't like that at all. It's like I was fucking trapped. I didn't have a car. If I wanted to get on my bike just to ride to, like, supermarket, still, I was, like... You know, it's fucking half an hour away or something like that, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even worth going to anyway. So that's why I stayed home. That's why music was, like, super important to me. Like, it was like one of those things when I got home from school, I couldn't wait to get home. Yeah. And just try to just pick up my bass or my guitar and just play along. Yeah. Like, which is different from kids nowadays, man, because it's like, I mean, I work with kids at night and not... 99 out of 100 of them never want to touch an instrument ever, or they never even thought about it or think about it. Music's like not a big part of their lives, I guess, you know. But maybe these are mainstream kids. I don't know.
But I think like the kids in general nowadays, like they expect everything to be so easy. It's like they don't want to skateboard because it's hard at first. They don't want to pick up an instrument because it's hard.
Yeah.
They want to do whatever they want to do straight away, no practicing.
The thing about like the youth center we work at the same place. The kids, they have no interest at all. But everything like you try like to show them or something, like, it sucks, you know. Like they don't like anything. It's super frustrating. Like we're like so creative and like into a lot of stuff. Like we try super hard, but like, it sucks.
Maybe it's because we were touched when we were younger by like not literally touched, but like, influenced younger by like that one dude who was into like punk rock or hard.
Yeah.
So this is a very tainted group here, you know.
Yeah.
No, anything is like, remember being a kid, you were like super excited about like tons of stuff, like everything. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, with them being exposed to so much and having like a avenue for every, so you would think they would find something that would interest them. But
yeah, maybe. If anything, it's been like, it would be like gangster rap or like just like
really bad. Wow.
Like some people, they're gonna get in the studio and rap or something like that, but very few would want to get in there and like play a real instrument and try to like, you know, just. I mean, I'm not speaking like a generalization. I had like one or two guys come and want to learn music. You know, one guy wanted to play violin or something, but most kids just want to like download a song off of YouTube and then like just record in the studio, but like kind of it's a karaoke basically, you know. But I mean, we were, you know, just like some dude gave me a Madball tape or whatever it is, and, you know, told me to get in the Biohazard or something, you know, or whatever, like. Hey, you ever hear Firestorm? I'm like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, maybe they haven't had, maybe a lot of kids I come across haven't had that
epiphany.
Yeah, that freak come up to them and be like,
no.
Yeah. You know?
So you had this first band, and that was out of New York as well, with the Shaolin band or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know if that was, I mean, we only played like a handful of shows, and I wasn't like some like, core member. I don't know. It's just like when we started, it was just like I met them like they were like young guys in college when I was just like almost ending like college, you know. So like we started and played a few shows, and next thing you know, I left school and like I hadn't talked to them in like years after that, you know.
All right, but after college, you moved to the Bay Area, or
right after I graduated school, I went to school like just right outside of Buffalo, New York.
All right.
But I ended up driving like way farther away to go to Syracuse instead because I didn't know many people in Buffalo. But right after I graduated, my friend was like, "Hey, you should move to California." I'm like, I was like, "Yeah, right."
But did you go to any shows in Syracuse? Because I imagine this must be like late 90s, like the hardcore straight edge mecca of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was like 18 or just turning 19. I met a girl who got me into vegetarianism. Like, growing up in Long Island, playing baseball, you know, that was another thing I did. But like, and just being around a bunch, not talk bad, but you're just a bunch of meatheads, you know. Like, vegetarian was not a word I ever learned until, like, you know, I met this girl. I was like, really? Man, you're the first vegetarian I ever met, you know? So I got into that, and I was like getting into hardcore, and like, and true story, honestly, like I didn't like Earth Crisis when I first met them because I thought they were too like militant, you know?
Right.
It kind of turned me off, honestly. Until like, because I just thought they would be like the kind of dudes who would like, you know, if you were like eating meat or something, like they, you know, fucking punch you in the face with like a soy yogurt or something. You know, it just had that, it was like a weird vibe just when you come across something so extreme, like you just don't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle it because I was a dummy, you know? I didn't know how to like really read into like what they were doing. And then when I finally put the time and read the lyrics, I'm like, oh fuck, this is like well thought out, serious shit. This isn't like just like, you know, just some shock and awe type kind of, you know, Showtime or something. But so like being like that young dude going and seeing them and like going to shows and seeing like Earth Crisis dudes or like Pat the Resistant getting around to play, I'm like looking on the side, I'm like, whoa, that's fucking car Earth Crisis, you know, and like, man, it's DJ Rose or something, you know, it's like that shit got me excited back then, you know, because that was like a real pivotal point in my life, like becoming vegetarian and like really being like a dude who's like, all right, you know, like, you know, I committed to straight edge and stuff. It's like that was like an exciting time for me, you know. Yeah, so it's like just to see those dudes and end up being able to play shows with them later on, man, that was like a big deal for me. You know, maybe those were the moments that like a lot of kids today maybe don't come across, where they meet some influential people that like not only just music, but like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, just living and, you know, analyzing the world and stuff and just philosophy and all sorts of different things. That was like pretty fucking, man, those were the days for me. That was like an exciting time in my life.
It's like, do you have a song, a band, or an album that's like for me, when I became a vegetarian 20 years ago, I listened to the first 108 record, like on repeat. Yeah. And for me, that it's a pivotal moment, you know. Yeah. It's like always when I hear those songs, I like, yeah, it's like it's before and after, like my whole life. Do you have any particular band or song?
Like, I mean, Destroy the Machines was like for me, like a front to back thing for me. Even to this day, I can still listen to that record front to back and remember like kind of like how I felt when I was kind of like abandoning like an old life and like kind of like building a new one. It felt like you get this. For me, it just felt like I grew up a certain way, and then you feel like, man, I felt like I was really like hidden from this kind of stuff. You know, even not being that old, it's like, man, that was too long to be like withheld from this kind of information. You know, it kind of blew my mind. You know. Mm-hmm. So that kind of stuff, I remember doing I had to do like some spoken word thing, like for one of my classes, and that was like my only grade for the whole semester was like, you sit and prepare and you learn basic like communication skills. Then you had to give some speech about something you like. I can't remember what my topic was, but I wrote some long ass paper about like social awareness or something, and I talked about like, you know, the effects of, you know, I bet there's tons of dudes who were in college or in music who wrote about like, you know, environmentalism and the impact of music on like activism and stuff like that. And I definitely dropped Earth Crisis lyrics in the middle of the damn, you know, like a school speech or something like that. You know, I was like way into it, you know, because it was like life changing stuff for me. I wish I could really feel like the way I did back then. I wish I could like remember that a lot now, because I think that would really pick me up, you know. But it's, you know, you get older and your attitudes on life change, but like those things I still learned back then. Like I don't let go of them, you know.
It's actually like that period, like it was so ahead of our time, you know, like all like the environmental issues, like the Earth Crisis, like we're talking about, like they're showing now the conspiracy documentary stuff, like we have known that for ages, you know.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah, and bands were so much more underground because like only few people know about it. So it's like hardcore was like super big in Sweden in the 90s. So for us, I think it's like more common, but still, like, very few people knew about it. And, like,
I got all the info, like everything, like came like simultaneously, like to Brazil as well, like at the same time. Like we were like from super different places, but we all like had like the same stuff. Like, and we didn't have internet.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No internet, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I don't know how. Even I was like reading like, you know, one dude would get like a PETA, what is it, vegetarian starter kit or something like that, and then I would photocopy it to that person, and I'd give it to somebody else. I mean, I worked at a library too, like in the summer, and I would be just reading everything I could get. Like, there was no internet, you know, so you're just reading like photocopies of stuff, you know, little zines and stuff, like
Yeah.
different time.
Yeah, so we were talking about you moving to the Bay Area after college. Was it then you decided to get into Swarm Vengeance, or how did that all come together?
Yeah. I mean, I moved out there, just, I didn't know what I was going to do. My friend was like, hey, you're done with school, why don't you just come out here? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then I thought about it for like 10 seconds. I'm like, yeah, all right. Why not? Like, I had never been to California. Like, at that time, like, I never thought I would ever go to California. Like, why the fuck would I go to California? Really? And then next thing I know, like 2 weeks later, I was in a car driving out there. You know, we stopped a few times along the way, but I remember the first time we rolled to California, like, holy shit, you see a palm tree? Like, man, this is rad, you know? That was cool, man. The weather was nice. You know, I stopped in, like, San Jose was, like, my first stop, because that's where I knew a dude, you know? He was our first drummer in First Blood, too, actually, at the time. Or this is, like, way before that, but, like, I didn't know what to do until I met some other old friends from college who moved to San Francisco, and I moved into an apartment there downtown. I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, you know? But I lived like my whole first year in San Francisco without knowing any hardcore scene at all. Like, to me, when I got there, it was like, you know, going to Hippie Hill at Golden Gate Park. It was like hippies and raves and hippies. I didn't know anything hardcore. I was like, man, I guess there's no hardcore up over here, you know? I had no idea until, like, I don't know, like, I think I called Victory Records at the time. It's like, yo, I heard Buried Alive is coming out to California. Like, how do I find out? Or something like that. And somebody there, she's like, here, write down this number. I was like, okay. I was like, 9161. It was like Mikey Hood's phone number. You know, and I was like, what the I was like, she's like, just call this guy. I'm like, right? Really? And so, yeah, fuck it. I never told this story to Mikey either. I bet if, like, I remember when I called him, I dialed the number, was like, he's like, hello! And I was like, yeah, I'm calling about the Bröd. Yo, who the fuck is this? It's like, who's this? Yo, are you from Dysphoria? Or is he just like rattles off some name from like some East Coast man? He sounded pissed off as shit. You know, I was like, no, man, I'm just some guy I'm calling. Victory said to call you about Buried Alive, All That War is playing. And he's like, oh, hey, you go to the hardcore website. I'm like, what? You know, like, I didn't know how to get around on the message boards and find out what was going on. And he was like, I guess there was a fucking, back then it was a hardcoremusic.com was a fucking site. Maybe it still is, I don't know. But there was a message board, but it was for all kids in the Bay Area, like Berkeley, San Francisco, Oakland, everything. And it was like a bunch of people posted about the show, showing up like the address to, you know, so I drove up to Sacramento, and I was like, fuck yeah, because I was waiting to Buried Alive. You know, I was waiting to Despair, you know. So it's like seeing that, I was like pumped, you know. And then that's when I met, you know, some dudes like around the Bay Area, you know. And I guess I posted on that board, it's like, yeah, man, I'm looking to play in a band, you know. Or some band was posting, like, yeah, we need a bass player. Our bass player had to quit or something like that. And that's when I wrote in, and some guy was like, all right. And he called me up later in the night. We just talked for like, I don't know, like an hour on the phone. Like, all right, you're in. I'm like, really? You know, you fucking see me play? He's like, I think you know what's up. I'm like, really? Or, you know, and that's like how I hooked up with this like Swarm Vengeance dudes. I get, you know, they had some kids into them in like the Bay Area, and like at the time, and I didn't know about them until like, you know, so he said, hey, come drive my house, and I'll give you some CDs so you can learn all the songs. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Fucking drive up to this rich neighborhood and somewhere like in the Bay Area, East Bay. The house was like, it was like had a fucking elevator, and I was like, what the fuck?
Valley.
This is like some part of the valley. I don't know. I guess his dad was like some rich dude and gave me a bunch of CDs and I learned the songs. You know, I played a bunch of shows with those dudes for a while. Played like in a couple other bands like the Bay Area. Just like, you know, they needed somebody, so I jumped in. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yeah, this is my band. Let's get around, write some songs. It was mostly the bands that had their shit together already. You know.
But what are other bands?
There's a band called Second Coming from Oakland.
They released like a 7-inch like white cover with some gray shit on it.
I told you he's on.
They were way in the shelter today, and they had, you know, I don't know. When I came in right after they recorded like their first CD, but they had like an EP or a 7-inch before that, and it might have been, honestly, like, I don't know, you know. I don't know what they had out. Like, when they had me learning songs, they gave me, like, some tape that was, like, dubbed on it. And, like, I don't even know if it was an official release or something they had, whatever, but it might have been some 7-inch songs or something like that. Yeah, it was just a couple bands. I mean, that was also a cool time for me, too, because it was, like, California was, like, a new state. You're on the other side of the country. The weather's fucking awesome, you know, and then all of a sudden you're discovering a whole bunch of shows, and then you're in a city where like a bunch of bands would come and tour through. It was sweet, you know, like, and the Earth Crisis would start coming out there, you know, and I was like, what the fuck, you know, it was just that was a great time too. So it was like moving from like one place that was like, all right, you're so close yet so far from like a lot that's going on, to moving to a place where I'm like, you know, you're just meeting a lot of people and cool shows are coming through, and you know, you're not far from LA. You can drive down there and go see shows and stuff. It was a good time, you know. I don't know how else to explain it, you know.
Yeah, but thinking about like Sworn Wind is pretty much the only hardcore band that I know from the West Coast that's like around that time. Because like in the East Coast there were like millions of like those East Coast tough guy bands.
Yeah.
But
you're talking like heavy bands.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
You got the bands from Sacramento, like the Hoods and No One Isn't Victim and Sworn Venus maybe, but apart from the Sacramento bands, there was like, can't think of any.
Yeah, I mean, there was always this rivalry. I think at the time it was always like this little North Bay, you know, like Northern California versus like a lot of the Southern California bands got way more attention, and you know, they ended up becoming like 18 Visions, Throwdown, Carry On, like a lot of those bands from like
Orange County.
Yeah, Orange County, Ignite, like those bands would blow up and then go places, you know, and tour and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, maybe like the Bay Area was tight. They had this like reputation, like we liked hard mosh and blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff. But I think they got dogged for a little bit. You know, I remember we did a couple like East Coast little weekender things or something, like, you know, we'd fly to the East Coast. We had no shows booked. You know, we'd rent a minivan and just fucking drive around the Northeast, like, you know, with this dude in
Show up.
We'd fucking show up. We'd ask for shows. It was not organized at all. I remember we played a show in Syracuse. Lost Horizon was like Drowning Man and like some other bands, and like they, you know, we weren't like, it wasn't like a band that was connected to the scene at all. Like they just.
And this was with Sworn Wind.
This was with Sworn Wind. It was just like doing some weekend stuff. And I remember we had to borrow gear, and there was like you know, looking at us like a bunch of chumps. And I remember the promoters like, you better come inside and watch the band. They let you watch. They let you play with your gear or something. It's like, fuck, like, man, we're just getting chumped, you know, like, not just like being like, oh, yeah, man, we're just trying to break down our shit right now. We'll be in a second, you know, like kind of thing. At the time, I was way into what we were doing, you know. We were all like, we practiced a lot. We tried to like get on tours and do stuff, you know. But like, I remember the promoter came out and was like, "You guys from California, right?" You know, like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are tight. I can tell you're from California." I'm like, man, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? It's like we put a lot of heart into it. I was like way psyched. I put a lot of time into that band. You know, like I towards the end when it broke up, I was like, man, I was excited about it. You know, we were trying to write songs and going in the studio and like really. You know, like, we cared about it, you know?
Yeah.
So when it fell apart, I was like, yeah, that just sucks, you know? That's when First Blood started, you know? Like, I was like, I was done with it at the time. I was like, man, I was working. I was like, I didn't want to be in bands. But then, like, my guitar player was like, man, you want to be in a new band? We started a band called First Blood. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Man, if you need a bass player, yeah, I'll fucking do it. But he's like, no, I want you to sing. I'm like, what? You know, I never sang in a hardcore band at all before that. Maybe it did some backups, and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll try. Yeah, sure, we'll see what happens. You know, I didn't think they'd come up with any songs or nothing like that, you know. So then we went to a practice. We drove up to this fucking tool shed up in the hills of like near Santa Cruz. It was like Los Gatos. We knew a guy who had like a shed, like a huge shed in the mountains where no one could bug us, you know, while we practiced. He's like, all right, show me what you got, you know. And I was thinking I'd be in there. It's like, hey, this is good, I'll do it. If not, I'll go home. And that's when we started, like, they started going through, like, the ideas of, like, the first song that we ever had that we were putting together. I was like, fuck, I like this. It sounds like Hatebreed. You know, Vinny's favorite band. I was like, fuck, this sounds like Hatebreed. I want to sound like Earth Crisis and Sick of It All, too. So it's, all right, I'm down, let's do this, you know. And then that's when we started fixing the song together. I wrote a couple more, you know, and dude had some ideas and we put them together. It happened fast, but man, I'm fucking jumping around. We're talking about like not many bands, you know, on the West Coast. Like at that time, maybe I didn't know that many on the West Coast either. You know, but like Powerhouse was like a huge band
for Oakland.
For Oakland, they were like OBHC, like they were kind of like the Sick of It All of the West Coast or something. You know, they were huge. Like right before I moved there. You know, they're still like legends when I was there, you know.
Played in Sweden once.
They did, huh?
Yeah, in like 97 or something.
Yeah, they were like heroes. You know, as far as I know now, Chris Powerhouse still like puts shows on in San Francisco, I think. Or somewhere on the West Coast. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I haven't been there in a while. But
very underrated band, I think. At least around here.
It's a shame, you know? Maybe I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of bands from SoCal got like way more recognition, but still at the time, like, you know, a band like that, they were heroes in the Bay Area, you know. A lot of younger kids looked up to them, you know.
So we mentioned Mikey Hood. We gotta take that trip. So I don't know where to begin. Gotta have some juicy parts.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people know him, yeah.
I think I told you about, like, they caused a lot of trouble in Sweden, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably told you.
Yeah, because like, the Hoods played here, I think, a couple times in Örebro, and there was like all sort of random fights going on and like super energetic mayhem all over the place.
They tried to jump your brother, that's so I got to know that. The police was looking for them at the Dead Fest.
Yeah, it's like
like they were like hiding behind bushes and stuff. Like when the police came,
Yeah, so
I think they hurt somebody really bad in Sweden, didn't they? Like with a bottle or something.
Yeah, it's like a bottle of olive oil and or a skateboard. So it's like
so from a hardcore kid in a Bruce perspective, you would think that if they are so like that when they come to us, how are the shows in California and so on? So how were they violent or like?
I mean, anyone who knows the Hoods, you know, Mikey Hood he's out of his mind, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. He's just the dude.
That's a fact.
Yeah, he's just like he puts himself out there, you know what I mean? And when you see them play, you expect like you don't expect like a calm, comfortable evening, you know? I mean, but that's the hoods, you know?
Yeah.
When you want to go see the hoods, that's what you fucking want to see, you know? Over the years, yeah, I'm sure I've seen some crazy shit with them playing, and, you know, you look back on it all, like, when you look back to, like, what he did in Sacramento for kids, and, like, he had his, you know, he ran a venue and put bands up all the time, you know? I mean, it was like a fucking shoe store. It was like an old shoe store that sold shoes, you know? And then he bought the spot. It was probably, like, the size of this apartment if you knock the wall down all the way there. It's like a tiny-ass place, you know? Over the years, he built it up. You know, and by the time before it closed, it had some like huge, like fucking stained, like it's like an iron stage or something, like someone good welded a stage in the front. You know, I mean, say what you will, like, the dude, like, you know, he put shows on the map out there. You know, my first fucking show in California was Sacramento. Seeing Buried Alive and All Out War, because like those were bands I was into, and like I didn't know what the fuck's going on out here. Like, how do I find out? I didn't know anybody. I was trying to mosh the Buried Alive, getting my, you know, big dudes were just kicking my ass. Like, and I didn't know anybody. I was like, fuck, all right, man, shit's hard up here, you know? Mikey's the one who put all that shit together, you know?
Yeah.
So looking back, like, yeah, man, he's like, I guess you could say that he's a part of like how I got connected to California in a way, you know, just to see what was going on out there.
Yeah.
It takes a dude like that to like, you know, to take risks and take all the name calling and fucking, but still he made it happen, you know?
Yeah, and he probably got a lot of kids into hardcore.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I remember he used to fucking, we were talking about Trash Talk earlier. You know, like that dude at the house we were at.
Yeah, Super Randa.
Yeah, so
he knew like Trash Talk.
Yeah, he's like, oh, is Trash Talk still playing? Yeah, I think so. But the dude used to fucking sweep the floors, like at his old fucking shoe store after shows and stuff like that. Was the dude who ended up going to be a singer of Trash Talk, you know? And their band fucking just blew up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's like this Kevin Bacon connection or something. But I just think it's so many memories. And I used to just get in my car after work every Friday, just drive out to Sacramento, go to his building, and just watch the same 3 bands play. Like, it was like Hell Crew, Contenders for the Crown. He had this band Above This World. It was like a hood
solo project.
Yeah, it was like his little solo band.
That was wicked.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good. But I would see the same fucking 3 bands play every weekend for I don't know how many months in a row at the time, you know? You'd see fights, you know, in Sacramento. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's crazy, but it's like nothing no one really has.
I guess it was more because like it was the same time it was a lot of punk rock stuff going on, like at the same area. Now the Bay Area was super,
the Bay Area, man, it was fucking a lot of
Oakland and Berkeley.
You think for like a progressive hippie ass place at the time, like early 2000s, you would be like a peaceful place, but there was actually like a lot of Nazis at shows at the time. You know, even if a dude got like he was suspect, like, you fucking Nazi, like, you guarantee like that the whole crowd will just beat the crap out of him, you know? And I remember there was like it was a famous, pretty well-known incident like in the Bay for like the older kids who were there. Like there were a couple Nazi dudes. I think it was Floor Punch or some other, you know, like some big show at this club called the Coquetry. You know, Nazis came out, tried to flex and like just fucking take over the floor. You know, some dude just fucking straight clocked him with like there might be a picture online you can find it. It's Mikey holding this fucking lead pipe that's like twice as long as a baseball bat.
Just recently saw.
I think somebody posted it up as like some nostalgic thing, and like, and that's a legendary Mike Hood moment, you know. And I remember like I wasn't at that show. It might have been right before I moved there, or I just didn't know anybody at the time yet, so I just wasn't at that show. But I remember it was like shortly after that, it was like that's when Agnostic Front came out, or no, maybe it was All Out War. I can't remember. They came out again. It was like some huge like fucking Nazi convention. I remember getting thrown to the ground. I didn't really know anybody. I look up and you see a bunch of skinheads. I was like, fuck. I remember feeling so like weak and alone. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, this is San Francisco, not fucking Naziville. You know, and I think some hardcore bands came out to play a smaller club later on after that, and somebody pointed at some dudes, hey, that's one of those fucking Nazi dudes from the, you know, from that fucking AF show or something like that. And poor guy. Maybe it wasn't him. His only mistake that he was white and he was fighting somebody that had a lot of friends. And so he's in the corner. He's like, no, I'm not a Nazi. I swear. All of a sudden you see this fucking like 3/4 full like Gatorade bottle just going like bounced off the front of his face, and Mikey Hood threw a fucking full bottle of Gatorade at this dude's, like a perfect fucking strike, you know, like right on him. And it was like, all right, so that guy got beat up and taken out of the show, but that's a classic moment. You look back on. You ever seen somebody throw a Gatorade bottle and yeah, it's Mikey Hood, you know.
So you were talking about how you came to start First Blood a bit. It was less than a year after you started that you released your first EP on Bridge 9.
That was released.
It was a demo first.
Like the demo came out on another label.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like it was just our website, you know. Like I was a web designer at the time, so that's all I did was sit in front of a computer all day. It was like we recorded one song, and I think I just put it out on, just like, or emailed it to some dude. Some guys emailed it around and got all over the message board. And dude's like, "Oh fuck, you gotta check out this new Bay Area tough guy, straight edge, mosh band, blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh fuck, I should put all our songs on a website." So I just put them all on our site. And this was like 2002, like summerish kind of thing, you know. And this is before we planned on really doing anything. Like we were just like, man, we'll play like a couple shows in the Bay Area and stuff like that. Like, you know, I had been slowing down like at the time, thinking like, man, I put so much effort into this other band and fell apart because of like just bullshit. You know, like, man, I'm not ready to fucking dig into another thing right now. And you know, because I didn't want to deal with flakes. You know, so like we did some more songs and put it on the internet, and then like people started talking about it. I guess, I mean, we started getting shows offers for like down in LA, and I was like, fuck, man, we gotta drive to LA now? I was like, I didn't think kids would give a shit, you know? It's like, I'd just been in like a bunch of small bands, filling in for other bands, you know, I did like that, you know, like my old bands on the East Coast here was like playing with some dudes, like trying to rehearse songs, or we would do a couple shows, not many kids cared, you know, I was like, I just wasn't expecting to play to people that cared, I guess, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, because at the time it was like pretty unique sounding too. It's like pretty similar to like Sworn Vengeance, like with the dark, like very thick, dark,
like down tuned.
Yeah, but it's like really heavy and aggressive, but not like in the 18 Vision way.
Yeah.
It's like more straight up hardcore,
more like a hardcore,
super hardcore, and that wasn't that many band that played that style.
No, I think at the time it was like, this is even before like that whole kind of like old school revival kind of thing, like early 2000s. Like we just wanted to, Hatebreed was my favorite band at the time, you know. I wanted to sound like Hatebreed with a message like Earth Crisis, but with like kind of like that fast attitude of like Sick It All. And I think that demo like kind of like was kind of close to like what we were trying to do, you know. And it just came out like that, you know. And so like I just had it on the website, and some dudes asked us to play just some shows on the West Coast, and, you know, we did it, you know. But like right when we were starting to do that, that's when our guitar player, big tall ass Doug, like that's when he was friends with Scott and Todd and all the dudes like in Terror at the time, and they were like, yeah, we need a touring guitar player, can you do it? So he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna play Terror. I'm like, oh, fuck, all right, I guess we're not gonna do anything now, you know. So he touring with them for a while, and then First Blood didn't do anything for like 6-7 months. We were just, you know, I was just working. We didn't play any shows. He was gone for a lot because they were touring before even Low to Low came out. You know, they were going all over the place. But he would call me fucking every day from, you know, I'd pick up my phone, oh, hello, he'd be like, what's up? So we talked like every day, you know. And then it got to be like a ritual for like, I don't know, 6 months. And all of a sudden he calls me, he's like, yo, he said something like, yo, we kicked out Rich or something like that. I was like, thinking in my head, I'm like, that sucks. You guys don't have a bass player. It's like, you want to play bass? I'm sitting at work. I'm like, I literally thought about it for like 10 seconds. I was like, oh, fuck. I got an apartment. I got a pretty decent job, girlfriend. I was like, yeah, all right. So like,
at this moment, like, what was the like state of Terror then? Like, just, did they blow up from the get-go, or was like... I
remember they had that demo out, the Life and Death demo. And I knew that I heard it online through that fucking website and the message board. Somebody posted one of the songs. I was like, fuck, you know, because I like very light, very live, and it wasn't like heavy chug like like despair, buried alive kind of stuff, but it was still pissed off. And as soon as I heard it, like, man, I know this shit's gonna be awesome. So like they just had that 4-song, I think it was a tape, it was a demo. It wasn't even on 7 and shit, I don't think.
Maybe CDR or something.
However they got it out, I think it might have been CDR. I don't know how I got the songs. I can't even remember at the time, but I went to go see him at Gilman Street. And I was just looking around, and I didn't see Scott anywhere. I saw some dude with a hoodie on, with his head covered up on the side, and I didn't know that was him. And I saw this drummer, he had his glasses on, he's setting up his drum kit. I'm like, when's Terror going on? I'm like looking around, and there was like no lights down, no intro music, no like, yo, motherfuckers. All of a sudden you just see the drummer just going like, he's making his faces, he got his fucking glasses with the croquis in the back so they wouldn't fall off. And he starts ripping. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then Scott just runs out, they start playing Life and Death. I was like, what? And then everyone around, it was pretty intense. I was like, holy shit. And this was like, I'm seeing them play, and I think that's the first time I see Doug playing with them, like our guitar player. And like I came to see him, and I came to see Terror, but I could just tell, like, fuck. All right, these guys are gonna blow up,
Yeah.
And I knew I'm never gonna see our guitar player again. He's gone, So that was before Lowest to the Low, before even like they had that the 7-inch that came out before Lowest to the Low. I can't remember, but they didn't even put out a fucking album or an EP yet, and they had already blown up, So like we had just put out a demo online. They put out a demo like, I don't know, a couple months later or something, like on that CDR, and they blew up. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do shit now.
I remember my friends went to Hellfest like the first year Terror played, and they were like opening band, I think, and that was the only thing that people were talking about getting back. It's like, yo, this is the new deal, like.
Yeah.
So it's like from there it went really, really fast.
It was crazy, yeah. Because I remember I seen Buried Alive a few times in Buffalo, and I was like, it was heavy. And I remember looking at Scott like, how do you fucking sing every word of every song in this hot as hell venue? And I was looking, I was like, I remember asking him later, I was like, how the fuck did you do that? I was like, it's like, some people just got it. That was his fucking answer to me. I'm like, all right, I wasn't expecting some like vocal lesson, but like, so when Terror came out, that was basically, to me, it was like Buried Alive on fucking crack. It was like, he was like way more intense, way more like motivational, so you just knew that shit was going to take off.
But did you start touring with them immediately from the get-go after joining the band, or?
No, actually while Doug had did a bunch of tours with them, and he came back, and First Blood was supposed to do a West Coast thing. We did like, I can't remember, somewhere in SoCal. We were supposed to go all the way up to like Seattle. And before we could even get to Seattle, Doug gets a call on his phone. He's like, yo, we need you to fly out to Boston. Because you're doing, Terror's going to play Reach the Sky's like last show or something like that. So he had to go, and we're just sitting there, we're like, fuck, all right, we only got a guitar player. So we just fucking drove home. Then the tour, we had just like not played like the last show or two of that little West Coast thing. But it was only like a 4-day weekend. Wasn't a big deal. But then because he did that, dude who booked whatever, we got a call as a favor for fucking up that little West Coast tour. He put us on Hellfest, 2003. He's like, I'm like, we played fucking 3 shows ever, and now we're playing Hellfest. Like, I didn't know how to hold a microphone. I couldn't sing for more than 30 seconds of one song, and he puts us on Hellfest, and that was like, and right before that is when Bridge and I was like, hey, we want to release your CD or put it as an EP. So it was like, a lot of people say like, yeah, that EP came out in 2003. He's like, well, that's when it was like pressed on that like sub-label of Bridge 9 back then.
Also, that like Division 36, so that was a sub-label.
Yeah, that was his like an imprint that he was gonna. It's like he pressed it just for Hellfest, or and that was like, but those songs had been out for like a year already, like and they were still on our website, So he put it. I remember like that's when kids still bought CDs. We got this. When we got to the festival, I wanted to grab some CDs just to have them. I was like, man, fuck, this is, and they were gone. Before we even could even see him. You know, he made a few shirts, they were gone. You know, so like that was like.
But that's the same recording as the demo.
Same exact.
Same. Okay.
I think I
thought
just.
it was like you re-recorded or something.
No, maybe they put some EQ on it or something. But I basically sent him the MP3s that I had gotten from the studio when we did the demo and wherever we recorded it, somewhere in Oakland, I think. Just sent him the same things. All he did was have some dude make some artwork, put some lyrics in it, and Division 36 on the back. You know, but from that on, that's when we got connected with that like Division 36 release, and then you know playing in front of all those kids, and at that point then too, it's like that's when Doug gave me a call. He said, "Yeah, we kicked out Rich. We're looking for a bass player. You want to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." So I fucking dropped everything in my life at that point. Like I dropped my apartment, my job, everything, just put everything in a fucking storage box, and then we just, you know, that's when First Blood didn't tour at all for like I don't know. 3 years or something like that, because we were just on tour with Terror like nonstop. You know?
How was that like, being on tour with Terror?
I mean, that was like my first like full-time touring experience. You know, like seeing shit. Like first time I went to Europe. First time I'm like, you know, like seeing like all different parts of the country like nonstop. You know, it's kind of I guess it was like a learning experience for me too. You know, but it was like being slammed into the middle of it with dudes I didn't even know.
Yeah, I was going to ask. You must have been quite the experience knowing the guys.
Oh man, yeah, it was. You don't realize how young you are until you look back on it. You know. Yeah. It's like I used to get fucked with all the time by like the merch dude, the roadie guy. Like, man, you fucking take shit so seriously. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I didn't even get what he was saying. I look back now, I was like, yeah, I guess I did. I didn't have a fucking sense of humor, man. And I look back on it, man, it's punishing. Like, I wouldn't even want to hang out with myself from like 10 years ago. You know? Because I didn't know how to take a joke, you know? I didn't even know when dudes were fucking with me. Because they had already been through that whole tour loop where they're just fucking with somebody nonstop. I didn't get it, you know? It was a learning experience, you know? But it was fun for me, you know? To see a whole bunch of shit, meet people, and like, you know, it's like it's what I wanted to do, you know, for a long time. I mean, it had its ups and downs, that's for sure, you know?
How much did you tour? It's like constant?
The first year I was with him, man, we were never home. That's why I just didn't have a place to live, you know. I just didn't need one because we were just gone all the time, you know. Maybe 9 months or something, like 10 months a year. It was like go from a U.S. tour to another U.S. tour, to Europe to a U.S. tour, back, maybe go to Asia or Australia, back to like a U.S. tour, back to some other thing. It was like, but we were all young and fucking we committed, you know. We did it, you know. You start to see like being in band is like a lot different, you know. And it wasn't like a band where like, yeah, we're 5 dudes, we all went to high school together, we all had pizza on Friday nights, and you know, it wasn't like that kind of band. It was like the band had already been like, you know, it's fucking, it already lifted off, you know. Yeah. I'm coming in and I have to find my place in this kind of band, you know. Mm-hmm. And maybe I helped a lot with merch and stuff like that, but I didn't write music, I didn't write lyrics, I was no direction in that band, you know. But I was just happy to be part of like a unit, you know. Everyone knew that's like this. We got to be here now. We got to know this for this point, you know. We just have to do our shit and get it done. There's no like, oh, I don't know these songs. Like, no, you fucking get in there and you do it, you know. And for me, like, I kind of like being part of that, you know. It's when it kind of got to the point where I wanted to do my own music. That's when I want to go and take First Blood out, you know, and just write what's on my mind and play some of the stuff that I've been thinking about, you know.
It must be like, I guess you felt that this is like pretty much a once in a lifetime chance, being in a band that went from nothing to like as much of a hardcore heaven you can like be so fast, like in like a couple of years. Like I guess like the music, like this is like early 2000s, like pretty much when the internet came around and you got access to the whole world all of a sudden. Before that you can be a band for 10 years and you never left the state. Yeah. But now you got like, yeah, people know your music in Australia and Europe, and
it was crazy. That's like,
it's like things happening very, very fast.
With music and social media was like, yeah. I mean, this was still MySpace. This was like pre-MySpace era too. This was like Friendster. You know, people were on Friendster, and I remember Todd Jones like, yo, you got to get a MySpace page. I'm like, what? I remember you begging me to get a MySpace. I finally got one, but that's when everyone was getting on social media and sharing this, sharing that. So word spread fucking so fast about everything. You know, it was a crazy time. You know, I was that dude who sat in my bedroom all day riffing, you know, but now getting put in a position where like, all right, I can go out and I don't have to play along with my tape player no more. Like I'm out there, like I'm setting up gear, you know, I'm setting up merch, you know, I'm fucking stage diving for another band before we play or something. Like, you know, it was a young, energetic like time, and I was fucking pumped, you know. I still get pumped about it a little too, you know. But when you get older and you got different things to think about, man, I still wouldn't go back and like if I had said no to doing that back then, that would have been a huge regret to never have that opportunity, you know. Because sure, I still had fire to be in bands and try to like make something happen, you know. But if I never had that opportunity to take that opportunity, you know, and like struggle maybe with another band I had that didn't take off, man, to look back on it, I would have smacked myself. I said no, you know.
So when did you decide to quit Terror and like focusing on your own band?
It was like I think it was like the summer of 2005 maybe. Yeah, because the California came out like the first Blood record came out in 2006.
The same year as Always the Hard Way, right?
Yeah. That was like, they were writing for that record on that tour. I knew I wasn't going to write anything. I tried writing songs for him. I couldn't do it. I don't know. I just knew it wasn't my place for some reason. It wasn't really like, I wasn't that dude, you know? I just didn't have it for that. The guy who wrote all the Terror shit on guitar, he had quit the band.
And who was that?
Todd Jones, that guy who played in Carry On. He wrote all the first two records.
Carry On, so fucking good.
Yeah.
People love Carry On.
Yeah.
But, so Nick, the drummer, he was writing all the music with a fucking little tiny guitar with a fucking speaker on it, like a little guitar that looked like shit. Sounded like shit, but he was writing all the riffs every day in the band. I just knew it wasn't my thing. I just had a feeling. I don't know. It's like...
So you were writing your own songs on the road with Terror?
In my head, maybe, you know, but I wasn't expecting to, like, you know, I still wasn't at that point expecting to, you know, walk away from this machine that was going on and just be like, all right. Because this kind of thing is like everyone knew their role and everyone was kind of like committed to it, and no one ever you know, it was like, it was just a tight knit unit that like to break the break, like just to fucking crumble your piece off. You felt like you'd feel the wrath, you know. I mean, you'd anger people, you know. You didn't want to do that, but like, I just wasn't satisfied anymore. Like, I loved what I was doing, but I really wanted to, even if it meant like not going as many places. Like, I really wanted to start writing my own thing, you know. I guess that's when it got to the point where it's like, you know, I also see like differences. Like, I wasn't like a party dude, you know. I'm not knocking anyone who's like does, you know, whatever parties, and I don't, you know. I was just like boring, you know. I just couldn't. It just, for me, it was like I couldn't hack it, you know. That wasn't for me. And there was people who look back like, man, I can't believe you fucking made it that long, you know. It's like I love what I was doing, so I stuck with it, you know. But I needed to do my own thing, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna get home and write a record. And that's like right at the first time. That's like the same time Trustkill said, hey, we should do a First Blood record. I'm like, all right. I just said, yeah, okay, you know, because they put that Terror record out before that. You know, obviously they had a reputation with other bands, like, for who knows how many years. So, I was like, all right, this is the next step. I gotta fucking, you know, I'll take it, you know, I'll do it, you know. So that's when, like, that record was kind of rushed, you know. So, like...
Did you write all the songs yourself? Or?
This is, like, when we were kind of somewhat resembling a band, you know. We still had like one of the guitar players, like we'd get in the practice studio together and bounce ideas back and forth. We actually had a real drummer in a practice studio. We just went and practiced, you know, like I don't know how many did, you know. We got home from that tour, the last Terror tour I did, got home and we just started getting in this room like every few days or so till we had enough songs to put together. And we re-recorded some demo songs. So it wasn't even like a full-on thing. It was like a bunch of old songs with a few new ones, you know?
All right.
And it was kind of rushed just to get a record out just so I could take my next band out on tour, basically, you know? So it felt like fucked up. I mean, I just wanted to get it done, you know? I never recorded a full album with me screaming, so I was worried about if I'd be able to even do that. I never even written a whole record by myself, like lyrically. I'm like, man, I want to say a bunch of shit, but I want to say it right, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. It was just all fucking rushed, you know? I didn't care about artwork. I didn't do the artwork. I didn't even give a shit about the name. Like, California was like something I would never in my whole life name a record ever. So that's not my fault. You know, that's someone else's idea. You know, and I was like, fuck, I'm worried about getting the songs done. You name it what you want, I don't give a shit, you know? You know, I think that dude, the Trustkill dude, he did the artwork. We had a friend take photographs, and then Trustkill dude put like all this like fancy script and lettering over it. It was like, cool, all right, I'll just do it, you know? He's like, oh, and he actually liked the California thing. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I like everything about it. It's like the artwork's like, at least the front cover is super nice. Well, the songs are great.
When it came down to like taking photos, like, well, if dudes are like dead set on naming this thing California, like, originally one of the guys wanted us to stage like a photo shoot with like a cop car and a cop out with his gun drawn on a dude who's like handcuffed on the ground and all this like graffiti and whatnot, and that would be California with the front cover. I'm like, no way.
That's cold as life.
That's like that's not me, you know? What am I supposed to like roll around like US on tour with like, you know, pretending I'm like some like, you know, cop killer or something? I don't know, whatever. It's just like, we ended up just taking like gritty photos of San Francisco that you don't usually see. It's not like Golden Gate Bridge and all these like parks and botanical gardens. It's like shitty rundown industry, like buildings that are like in neighborhoods where there's like just tons of hookers and drugs and shit, you know. So that was like more like the grimy California like theme of the artwork and stuff like that. But that wasn't like a big focus of mine. I was in the studio with the guitar player. I ended up recording all the guitars and the bass and doing everything. The drummers, we were trying to get all the shit and the beats together. It was just fucking rushed, you know. But it was just to get something out, you know. We had, you know, at that point we had known people that got us on tours and stuff. So it was cool and exciting to do that. But like, if I could go back now, I'd be like, man, fuck. I wish we took our time. Just got, you know, even if it took another year, at least it could have been a little different. But fuck it, you know, that's like a moment in time. You put out a record called California, you get a whole bunch of fucking retards on MySpace writing you guys totally ripped your name off of Lamb of God, Philadelphia. I can't tell me how many times some fucking bozo wrote in, like, saying something like that, and I'll be like, I mean, I got to the point, I used to be like, there's shit's called Philadelphia. There's probably like fucking 8,000 gangster rap records in California called
I'm from Cypress, you know. California, where I'm from. Yeah, it's from Cypress.
There was, California was like, you could look in like gangster rap from the Bay Area, Oakland, and there's like, I don't know, at least a few dozen dudes who named something California, California Craig or something, you know, wherever, you know.
But the record was pretty well received, wasn't it?
I think just because kids were waiting for a full length when you just had a demo out for so many years.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of kids were into it who like mosh, you know, just like a mosh record.
Yeah, sure.
I think a lot of kids were turned down too because they saw it go. It sounded like way more metal-y than they thought it would, and less like a hardcore record. Because like we went to like a decent studio, and the guy was like, "What do you want it to sound like?" I'm like, "Machine Head," you know, because like when you think of like that Burn My Eyes recording, you know, like Bay Area Legends, like, man, that record sounds so sick. We're not a metal band, but I just love the drum sound. It's so crisp and huge. So I was like, all right, I'll try and do that, you know. So it definitely had this like really produced metal tinge to it, you know, and maybe some of the songs got like some fast ass weird like scissor death metal beats. I don't even know what to call them, you know. It's just like some kids are like, man, I wish they didn't go more of that metal route. It's not even like really metal. It's just like mosh that's like
heavy.
Yeah, it's like a weird like maybe metallic metal edged. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like sound of the times. It's like
it was a thing that we did.
Yeah.
That thing we did at that time. Basically.
So then I guess it was a conscious decision to take 3, 4, or I don't know, 5 years to record the follow-up. Because you had to rush the first album, or
The first one was rushed, then we toured forever on it, and then that's when I spent the next like fucking 2-3 years like depressed and homeless for like not knowing what to do. I was like, fuck. You know, you thought that like everything you gave up to do this band, you thought it would just become like another smooth rolling machine of people all doing their part. It just wasn't that. We went through fucking so many members, couldn't find dudes who could like just lock down and know what the, you know, just like it wasn't the same glue that like, you know, being in that prior unit was like so tight. This was not. It became quite clear like that it was like, you know, first of all, like the dude who helped me write California, like when we wrote it together, he just wouldn't tour anymore. He just didn't want to tour. That wasn't his priority. It's like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I do, you know? So it's like, so writing at that point, after that, it became like, it got to the point where it was clear that if anything was going to happen, it was just going to be me writing. Either no one brought anything to the table or they couldn't bring anything to the table. It was just, and that fucking depressed me, you know? Everything you give up for something that you love, and then you realize like, it's fuck, man, it's not turning out the way I planned, you know? So it's like I gave up, you know, I didn't have like steady places to live. You know, it was hard getting like just part-time jobs where you get up and go. You know, I wasn't good at networking to like always have like a good job or a good place to come to after a tour. So it just, you know, I find myself like just, you're in the van, like on tour, and then like when you're off tour, you're like, you're in the van, like at a fucking truck stop, like between tours or something like that, you know? Yeah. So it was like, it took a long time because I just couldn't fucking focus. You know, I couldn't bring my mind to like, you know, I just couldn't get it together. It sucked, you know? And it sounds like a fucking cop-out, you know, in a way, but it's like I just wasn't focused. And plus that too, when you're getting into all the fucking conspiracy shit and you're reading about how the world sucks every day, and that doesn't fucking help you, you know? If I could go back now, I'd just be like, dude, stop reading this shit and get your life together. You know, that would be like a lesson. I wish I could go back, whatever those years that I wasted, say, stop worrying about how shitty the world is. It's things you can't like change. Just like fucking write your songs and talk about the things that you can do, you know?
Yeah. But it's like we talked about First Blood on the very first episode. Yeah. And we were like dissecting the Silence album. It's like, it's probably like, because it's a very well written album. It's like thought of in like detail level. So like, it's probably like sitting alone doing everything. It's got probably a pretty good studio at home, and it's like haven't left the apartment in 3 years, just nerding out on every single aspect of every tune. But later we learned that the record is recorded in a bunch of different places and like put together.
Yeah, like I had been living in my van or my car for like 2 years at that point. I stayed with some people that I knew maybe down in LA for a while. And it wasn't until like I just asked some dudes like, hey, can I stay at your place and finish this up? And I was in a tool shed in my friend's garage. You know, I cleaned out all the tools. I mean, literally the fucking place is the size of your bathroom, you know? It was big enough for like a bed mattress and a microphone stand in the corner. So I just got out of the bed stand and had the computer here. I would fucking yell for fucking, I don't know, 9 months or whatever. And some days I would just fucking stand in front of the microphone and not do shit. Couldn't get it out, you know? But all this shit was in my head every day for like, it took me like 3 weeks to record all the music. Like, it was a proper studio. Like, legit proper. So we even used the same drum room that Machine Head used to record like one of their albums. So it was like a proper, legit thing.
Was that in Oakland?
That was in Oakland, yeah. This place called, I think, Shark Bite Studios or something. I can't remember. But it was like, it was pretty nice. And I remember Trustkill dude complaining because, man, it's already over budget. I'm like, really? This whole record cost like, I don't know, $3,000 or something like that. To like, I mean, compared to like some bands spending like $30,000, like, I think that's not like an enormous amount to like spend some time for a full length album. It's like 16 songs.
But what happened to Trustkill? They folded.
I guess the dude owed a whole bunch of money to, I don't know, some distributors, whatever, and then they realized he was not going to pay him back, so they just took his label away, kind of thing.
All right.
But that's a whole different story, man.
Yeah.
It's, you live, you learn. You don't deal with stuff if you don't like sign anything on paper. So,
But as you mentioned, like being more political about like lyrics and conspiracy theories and all that stuff.
yeah, that's all I read about like every day. Like even touring on California, like I drove the van all the time, literally every fucking mile. Like it got to the point where I was like, I was in the front of the driver's seat, and we weren't blasting hip hop through the fucking van. It was dudes sitting in the back with their laptops watching Prison Break, and I'm watching I'm listening to like either podcasts, conspiracy documentaries, fucking like Noam Chomsky or some fucking like some dude talking for hours and hours on my fucking iPod, or watching, the iPod Classic with a tiny ass screen, Velcro to the dashboard, even watching documentaries about fucking whatever, anything. Everything you could make a documentary, I was watching everything. I was like just filling my head with shit for like all those tours, and even off tour, like I read alternative news sites all the time. And actually I was like super interested in a lot of, I guess you can call it conspiracy stuff. A lot of it is alternative news, alternative points of view and stuff like that. But some of it was like legit politics, but it was just stuff that would just get covered up or buried just because it was not like favorable to, I don't know, certain people.
Yeah, that's how it works. Like, that's the truth.
Yeah, if you fucking, I don't know, it's just the way it is. Like, it's life, you know what I mean?
But listening to the record, like, you felt like it was like a whole new, like, I guess a new set of, as far as the lyrics goes. Like, first you had like Rambo samples, and now it's Dr. King. It's like it was a whole new outlook on things. So we were like super disappointed that the record didn't come with a lyric sheet.
Sounds of Betrayal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're talking about vinyl, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh,
but that was a mistake.
No, that was the label cutting corners, All
right.
He's like, it's going to be too expensive. And it took me months to do the artwork. For the actual CD, it was like 16 pages.
Okay.
It was lyrics, and I had commentary on every song. So it was like...
Should have got the CD instead.
Yeah, the CD actually it was like a booklet, 16 pages, and it was like... And he refused to do it at first. I'm like, dude, I'm not putting this fucking record out after 4 years of like... And just having like a front and back and being like, thanks guys for buying this, He wanted to like cut songs off. He wanted to trim like 50 cents off of every CD cost. I'm like, that's not why we're fucking doing the CD. You realize that, So I had to like pull his arm to like, dude. So I guess when he had to do vinyl too, he's like, all right, fuck it. You don't give a fuck about vinyl. He ended up not putting at all like a lyric sheet in the vinyl.
That's what we thought it was missing.
Yeah, and even to this day, like I don't even have a copy of the vinyl, The way I would have to get vinyl for my own record is go out and buy one from whoever distributor.
But that was from Bullet Tooth Records.
Bullet Tooth.
Yeah, but like, who are they? Who is he?
He's the same dude. But
like Trusky.
Yeah, it's the same exact guy.
Oh, it is.
But I mean, from what I hear, he wasn't allowed to be in the biz anymore. But he found a way to keep doing it. I mean, obviously, I guess if you say, no, this is not a record label, it's a publishing company. Still, it's like, I mean, it's just semantics. It's a way of, saying, I don't know.
Yeah, because I think The Silence is the first record who came out on that label, under that name the first time I heard about the name.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been. All I remember is that, hey, you want to do another record? I was so worried about like lost time and how I committed to writing another record again that I didn't want to focus on anything else. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. I'm doing this right now. You do that, I'll do my part, I didn't know that my part would be like designing and doing the whole record, and then it's like him just putting it out and ignoring me after that. I mean, I didn't know what... Yeah, it sounded like it was going to be legit, That's all aside, that's all done. But the point is, like, I put so much effort into that, lyrically.
Yeah, you can tell.
That was like my main thing. I didn't want to like. It took me a year. Like it took me 3 weeks to do all the music. Not even like it was quick. but like it took me almost a year to do the vocals because I didn't want to have one single line on that record that I thought that it felt like filler.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like, I need a line here with 9 syllables that rhymes with Y. You know, like I didn't want to have that at all. It's like everything I wanted to have had to say something, and it had to relate to the title of the song, and it had to have the same vibe as like the riff that it was even under, you know? So like if it was like a dark part of the song, I wanted, you know, it had to be like this dark part of the song. If you heard the end and it started becoming maybe like some of these maybe melodic harmonies over the chug, then it's got to be a part that's like, you know, you're lifting up hope or something. Like I really thought about that stuff for a long time, you know?
Yeah, and if you like, if you listen to the like the vocal structure, it almost feels like Max Martin way to write lyrics, because the verse is hooky as a chorus, and the chorus is like super chorus. So it's like super brutal, but then it's like very. It's like you hear the song once and it pretty much sticks, and that's not that many like hardcore records do that.
Well, I think like. What I was saying, I wanted to be just as important or more important like than the music too. So it's like I didn't want to be just a dude screaming, just because I just to have like incoherence, like you know, just to have a dude yelling. Like I feel like I even like let myself back screaming on that record, just like to always make sure you can understand what I say more than like how I'm yelling it. You know, because of course I'm yelling or screaming, I'm not talking. You know, but as long as you're understanding it, that's like. I tried to make it so like, okay, this you're hearing, I'm like over-pronouncing. To me, it felt like I was over-pronouncing words and stuff, and like all the syllables. Yeah, like I really wanted to try and make things understood, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, it was just my point of view, you know? It's like the way I looked at things, and that was a time that I needed to get those things out of my head, you know? I needed to say that, and I thought like, I mean, this relates a lot to like how I'm writing the new record now, but like, you know, you think you're writing all this stuff, and it's like all that was like the most important shit in the world to me at that point, you know? And you come in and you realize you think you have expectations that a lot of people want to hear it, or a lot of people will accept it, you know, and other people will think it's important, but they don't, you know? And you think that like, you know, a lot of people will like embrace what you say and how you say it. I'm like, they won't, you know? I look back now, it's like, yeah, I mean, that was a good way to divide people by putting out a record like that. Sure, I was saying what I wanted to, but it's like, it was kind of divisive, you know? It wasn't like uplifting, to put it like kind of stupidly, like it wasn't party, you know? When you think about kids who want to go to a fucking Harper show and like get pissed off but also feel good, that wasn't the recipe, you know? I mean, I think back now, it's like, yeah, I said what I needed to say, but fuck. Here I am what am I trying to bum people out? Yeah, I said what I had to say, but fuck, I look back now, it's like maybe I could have been like more. At the end, I could have turned it around more. I'd be like, all right, this shit's crazy, you know? You know, ending with a song called Armageddon, and then having Rambo saying "fuck the world" at the end of it. It's like, that's not who I am. But I just thought it was a hard sample from the movie, you know. But
so maybe we can touch on the upcoming album rules.
Because I always wondered, like, is that First Blood rules? Like, First Blood is number one, or is it set of rules?
It's or
both.
It's both, man. Because when we started we needed a website. Like, man, we can't have firstblood.hc, right? I didn't have those things back then, you know. So it was like a joke, you know. It's like, let's put out a demo online. Like, First Blood rules. Like Keanu Reeves saying it, like First Blood rules. So that's how that came in. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, fucking rules, man. Like, then I found myself saying, man, fuck you, fuck the rules. Like, yo, you can't use the girls' bathroom right now before the show. Like, I gotta take a, you know, fuck the rules, you know. And then I was like, wait a second, like, man, we live our lives so like timidly, just on like all these rules that just like, you know, rules we hate, but rules we accept, you know, like rules we ignore, rules that some people gotta follow, rules that some people don't. And it's like George Carlin said, it's all bullshit, you know? So I was like, man, I wanted to turn that whole metaphor into like a whole record. So like basically the new record now that I'm like, I did all the music for, so the music's done, but I'm just like, you know, once again, it's taken me forever to write lyrics that I feel like, you know, every passage I'm going through, it feels like it's not just filler shit, you know? But every song is about a rule, like just a rule in life, like rules you accept, rules you ignore, rules that like you don't even understand why you follow them, you know, and the consequences can be like really huge and dramatic, but yet we consider these rules like valid, and it's I think it's an interesting point to like a way to look at life, and in sort of like I guess it's like satirical in a way, like how, you know, I got a song called The Rules of War, and it's just like, you know, picture your typical like fucking, you know, it's to me it's comical in a way, but it's almost sad in a way too, because there's people who really fucking believe this shit, you know. I'd have to wait for people to hear the record to really get it. It's hard for me to describe like why I'm doing this, you know, but for me it's like this is another important way for me to try and get people to understand, or at least to analyze how they live their lives, you know, and they live it based on rules that someone else made. And a lot of people don't, you know, they're pushed to follow like other people's rules, but no one ever teaches them to like, you know, to pull themselves in the direction of like their own dreams and their own like aspirations and stuff like that. So that's like the whole vibe of the new record, First Blood Rules. And I guess we don't have to get a new website name either, because we already got that one.
So can we expect it to release this year, or how do...
It should be, man. We got a new label now. It'll be coming out on a label from the Bay Area. It's an old dude who used to listen to First Blood back in the day, and then he started a record label that has been doing pretty good. I guess in Berkeley it's called Pure Noise Records.
All right.
They do like a lot of like more like poppier stuff. Like,
yeah, I think I've read about him on Vice or something.
Yeah,
been featured.
I'm thankful that he's trying to like, you know, have some young kids like hear like some of the new stuff we're working on, you know. And I think kids like who like mosh and who like heavy stuff and might maybe want to hear some lyrics that are kind of like quirky, and you know, you can think about them, not just, you know, lyrics about like fighting some dude. Or,
yeah.
You know, I hope they'll appreciate it, you know. But it should be out this year, you know. I mean, we're touring this summer with promo for it, you know. We're going to be shooting a video for one of the new songs, you know. And right now, I got, you know, at least it's in lock. Not, I don't know, it's not done because it hasn't been actually done yet. But like, you know, trying to get some guest vocals on it, you know. Carl Earthcrest is like being one of them. Like Jesse from Stick to Your Guns was like a huge reason why this whole thing even happened, you know.
Oh.
I was about to just say I'm done. I can't go through another. Because for me, like writing a record, just like it blows my mind apart. I can't focus on like work, or, you know, I got a family now, and I can't even like take care of myself. And sometimes, you know, when I'm trying to think about like, for me, it's like I'm not good at like juggling different ideas in my head and different like responsibilities. It's just like I was ready to. He was a big push to like make it happen. He said, you know, to set it up with, find a label that believed in us, and he said, you got to do this record. I know that you have like some good ideas left. You got to do it. You know, just do it. See what happens. Like don't give up before you know that you at least tried on this record.
Yeah.
So, you know, I flew to New Jersey like the end of last year, the beginning of this year, like January, like did all the music. You know, I flew.
Is that not only you now?
It's me, our drummer Bobby. He lives in Las Vegas. You know, we got dudes here in Sweden, toured in Katrina Home.
Yeah.
You know, my boy Johan, and he's in Netherlands. You know, we have like just dudes all over the place. My friend AJ is back in Pittsburgh. He plays drums for us sometimes. He played bass for us on our last.
But do you have it like steady lineup now? Because this was like years back. It was very shifting. Like.
It's always been shifting, like all the time, you know. But like at least I think in these past year, maybe it's Bobby on drums. Like I always look back and like I think like it's gotten to the point where like I realize that Friday, if we can't do a tour, then we can't tour or something like that, you know. Or you know.
Yeah, it must be complicated to like find new guys for. It's like
I mean, we're all over the place and we don't even really talk that much. Yeah. You know, we got dudes in Sweden here, and like I don't even talk to them that much because dudes got lives and stuff that's going on. You know, Tor's got, you know, he's got a family too now. He's got a kid and he's got a couple of businesses, and drummer owns a tattoo shop. Dudes are working for other bands. It's like, man, we don't even really connect until it's like we tour. We fly to the same airport and meet each other. and get in a van and be like, all right, dudes, what songs you guys want? We don't even practice. Like, first day of tour is like practice, So it's like, it's been a long time since this has been like a band where it's like, like I said, it's a bunch of dudes who know each other. We're fucking homies. And that's why when I see a bunch of bands, a bunch of guys who are together and they're all like laughing and they're doing shit together, like after a show or something, it's like, man, fuck, how does it happen? It's like being married to like 5 different people. They all get along, So I envy that in a way, but at the same time, it's like, this is what it is, I still want to keep it going. I still enjoy doing it, Still going out and touring and playing, like, especially with a whole new round of songs coming through that, like, I fucking hated them when I got done with it. I was like, man, why the fuck did I fly to Jersey to record this shit? And then, like, I was like, fuck. Maybe a couple weeks, I was like, all right, put some words to it. I think this is. I back it now. I'm talking about my own shit right now. It's so stupid. No, but I think it's like for dudes who like First Blood, I think they'll like it. Maybe they won't, but I don't know. I'm pretty confident about it. Seem to have a label that kind of, they're patient with us about it. And they're trusting in it. And I just hope it turns out good.
Rules has been like in 6 years in the making, more or less.
6 years, man.
Yeah. So what can we expect? Like new lyrical theme, but musically it's like. Any violence? No, not on this one though. We get piano on this one though. No bleeding through like vibe. I mean, they had their own thing and it was hard, but this is me just fucking around on the piano. But no, I mean, seriously, like, if you can think of just like I even said this about the last record, but it was bullshit. But like, when you start a band and you like that vibe you want to get, like when I say, the hate breed mixed with Sick of It All on Earth Crisis, like musically, I think that I actually achieved that a little bit more on this new one. It kind of sounded like the vibe of California, just like, all right, just get out and fucking mosh. But lyrically, it's definitely still on point with Sounds of Betrayal, but just like from a different perspective. It's like more personal.
Definitely a lot more personal. I think it's a lot more topics that people can relate to in their own lives rather than listening to like their fucking history teacher singing a hardcore band,
I like that though. I think so.
Yeah, it was a moment in time, and I appreciate when people like it, because for me it's like, man, I love writing, it felt really good to do it, at the time, but I don't want to do it again, I think this next record musically is definitely way more like what we started the band for. Just it's more of like a hardcore, like aggressive record. I think lyrically it takes a more satirical and like a more. I try to always bring it around at the end, so it's like, all right, we're here to like escape how shitty the world is. Like, let's end this song on an uplifting note. Not to be like super hippie, but like, yeah, let's feel good about what we're doing. And then we can appreciate like people still working on hardcore music and, just the mentality in general. So that's what I'm trying to push forward with this new record. And it's going to be called Rules. It will be out in 2016. That'll be a 6-year gap. We're shooting for it's a Pure Noise Records release.
You have any tours planned coming to Sweden, perhaps, or
in Sweden? Fuck, I don't know, man. We got to hit up Boris. See if we get some dates. I don't know. Because it's dudes live all over the place, man.
But you were gonna do a Euro tour this summer, right?
We're across Europe and the UK in some dates in June and in a couple weeks in July and August, and then we're working for like another Euro tour at the end of this year, probably in the fall, like for like a CD release for like I'm gonna legit release like tour for the new album. We'll probably shoot a video for the new album like sometime in the summertime as well. But like just the focus on the band right now is getting Rules out. It's got to be done. It's been overdue.
Yeah, can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
So what else do you do? Like in life?
Well, that's funny. I don't know. Me and my Vinny friend here.
Yeah, like running out naked around the apartment, doing like city jokes.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. We're just at home building up our studios, Just, I work with kids at night, so I'm trying to get them to get more involved with music, either like creating music or at least just learning how to record.
You didn't even say that you live in Sweden. Like, it's probably a lot of you that Do you not know about it?
I'm an American guy living in Sweden. I've been here on and off for like 5 years. I don't speak hardly any Swedish. But if you speak Swedish to me, I might understand you. Maybe 50% of the time I'll understand you 50% of the time. So maybe. Yeah, just working on shit like in the studio, trying to get more involved like producing and like recording, like mostly hardcore bands because that's like what I've been around. And, you know, I did some stuff with and even some glam rock bands and stuff like that. So like in and out of the studio, doing stuff like that, trying to keep busy with music and touring and, you know, working while I got out here just to stay alive.
So is there any way for bands to reach out to you if they want to have some work done or mix or recording? Or...
Well, you can follow the band. Like, you can check us out on Instagram. It's First Blood Rules or at First Blood Rules. We're on Facebook, so it's facebook.com/First Blood Rules. Same thing with Twitter. Just follow us at First Blood Rules. Or if you want to just, I don't know, talk random shit about life and rules, just
Mikey.
You can email me at Mikey Hood Stories. You probably get a couple from me from the past. You can email me at carl@firstbloodrules.com.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. First Blood Rules and everything. You'll find it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for coming all the way to Örebro.
My first Swedish podcast in English. But thanks, guys. This was cool.
Fan, jag såg... Det var ju tydligen en svingammal grej, men det var rätt så kul. Jag såg någonstans ett... Smash Mouth. Det är något så gammalt... Det måste ju du veta, Robin. Såhär ska-pop-punkband.
Jaha.
Man kände igen den hitlåten, typ.
Ja.
Alltså typ som Goldfinger.
Ja, exakt.
Typ så.
Okej.
Fast nästan sämre.
Okej, går det?
Så stod det typ bara singer from Smash Mouth, typ total breakdown. Såhär, att publiken hade bara kastat bröd på gigget.
Va?
Ja, så var jag tvungen att kolla. Det var typ, om man sökte på Smash Mouth singers, alla...
Det var ju såna extrema rubriker. Det var så här, has the worst complete mental breakdown ever.
Vadå? Det måste vara första gången man kombinerar en bandansökning med ordet Bröd.
Men det var ju på någon matmässa eller
Nej,
någonting.
om man sökte på Smash Mouth singers så var det enda som stod. De 20 första träffarna var bara... det var på mat.
Ja, det stod det, tror jag.
Ja, okej. Men vadå, han är känd för att balla ur, eller?
Ja, tydligen. Jag vet inte. Jag har aldrig lyssnat på Smash Mouth.
Okay.
Men det var ett jävligt kul klipp. Och att... Jag tror att... men liksom att de här... Alltså, den här matmässepubliken är nog inte vana med att någon börjar stå och skrika åt folk och hota publiken med stryk. Jag tror inte de var sån... Ja, fan.
Vi lägger till det på listan över topp 10 mest intressanta breakdowns och konsekvenser.
Jag och David satt och hoppades, han hotade bara, kommer en jävla macka flygande, då kommer jag gå ner i publiken och döda er. Och vi var sådär, kasta.
Om de någonsin kommer till Sverige skulle man ju fan köpa en biljett och åka dit med en hel jävla varubil med limper.
De kommer inte kunna spela efter en sån här grej.
Nej.
Det är nu, alltså den här incidenten är ju typ kändare än deras musik. Då kommer det bli det där kastanbandet.
Finns det video alltså?
Ja.
Vi får ta länken.
Ja. Fan, jag har gjort något jävla jobb åt Smash Mouth.
Aha.
Jävligt random. Och typ det första jag gjorde på Burning Heart. Jag tror att Smash Mouth skulle spela i Sverige. Och någon jävla anledning så hade de anlitat Burning Heart att göra något utskick. Ingen aning om vad det var. Men det var en jävla massa grejer som skulle skickas. Det var typ till alla som hade köpt biljett.
Aha.
Jag kommer inte ihåg vad det var. Men jag säger att jag fick, och jag gjorde det hemma också. Så jag fick typ så här 5000 kuvert med adresser. Och sen typ så här 10 olika flyers. Så ska jag stoppa ner dem i varje kuvert och posta. Och så ska jag få 3000 spänn i merch efteråt. Det är typ min första sommarjobb. Sjukt värt.
Ja, nice.